All right, everybody, for those of you who don't know, my name is Michael Forrest, and it's Quest time. Now, before we get going, I'm going to ask if everybody can stay off this raised up platform here. This way nobody blocks the display. This includes the top of the speakers and the top of the display, because that can be distracting, and plus you're not going to see the slides so well. Although a lot of people do like to hang out on top of shrub here, I'm completely cool with that if you do. It's totally fine. Some people like to take some selfies with them, they pose. That's cool. You can do that. A lot of people will try to grab my tools. That's also cool, but so far Shrub has not let go because Shrub is dedicated. He is. He really, truly is dedicated. All right. Now, if I can direct your attention to your menu wheel in the lower left there, at the very top of that menu wheel, you're going to see a microphone icon. The microphone icon, when it's clear and you can see through it, that means we can hear everything that's happening in your environment. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn that to red. And now that it is red, that means muted, and we won't be able to hear you. So if somebody comes into your environment and says, "Hey, are you still on that thing?" feel free to answer them because we're not going to hear that. And if, for example, like, maybe you have a dog that starts barking, you won't face social ruin back at the campfire by becoming known as the avatar that started barking during quest time, right? Or maybe the ringing avatar if your phone rings. But yeah, you get the idea. Now, in your menu wheel, you're also going to notice that you have a pink-cheeked smiley emoji. And when you press on that, your emoji panel opens up in front of you, and it's going to give you a wide variety of options with which to express yourself. So this means just because you're muted doesn't mean you can't participate. You're going to notice that, like, let's say I say something deep, and meaningful, and you feel it right here, and it's supposed to build up. You can just let it out, let it flow, let it go on up there. Maybe it breaks the window above me, right? Maybe some ninjas drop down behind me. Maybe they're not ninjas at all. Maybe they're backup dancers, and you're very impressed. So you stir up some applause, the applause that I live for, and take a moment to just drink it all in. There we go. All right. Now, if I ask you a yes or no question, you can say yes by smiling. You can say no by frowning. If I say something funny and you feel like laughing or showing me that you're laughing or that you found it funny, you can throw up the tongue sticky outy emoji, as one admin calls it. I'm not really quite sure why it's called that, I guess because the tongue is sticking out, but it is meant to indicate laughter. Now, if you need to get my attention for any reason, you can raise your hand up like this. This is not the same as raising a hand to ask a question. This means that there is a problem that needs to be addressed. If I only see one hand go up, I'm going to keep on going. But if I see like 10 hands go up, I know something's wrong and I need to take care of it. All right. You can also press the X in the middle of the emoji panel. But if you press on that X and close it, you won't be able to participate as much. So it's a good idea to leave this open during events like this. This way, it lets me know how I'm doing, but more importantly, it lets the people around you know what you're experiencing. So if the person next to you starts going like this, they mean they found whatever was going on to be funny. All right. Now, Quest Time is an event for Quest users, but all are welcome. So if you're, if you're on another device, feel free to hang out. You might pick up some information that helps, a member of our Quest community, which is growing larger and larger every day. Or maybe you're thinking about getting a Quest and you're here to learn more about it. All right. And that's, but again, all are welcome. And we're going to mainly be talking about, how you can improve your experience in Altspace on the Quest and some of the things, how your Quest works in Altspace. So just while we still have those emoji panels open, it gives me some idea of how to proceed. Show me some emojis. It doesn't matter which ones. You could smile. How many of you are actually new to the Quest? I didn't even ask the question already going up. Any new Quest users, like you're brand new on the Quest? How many of you are actually on a Quest right now? I probably should have started with that. Okay. Very cool. All right. That's a lot of you. Very nice. Cool. And, I like that too. The hand raises where you actually stick your hand up like that, that counts too. Just some kind of visual representation that, that you're answering the question there. All right. How many of you, are like you're brand new to the Quest? Like you're just starting out? All right. How many of you are new to Altspace? Oh, wow. That's a lot of new users. Well, welcome to Altspace, everybody. You should check out the AltspaceVR 101. That is a great place to get started. And also, welcome. There's a lot of new users lately. How many of you are upgrading from an Oculus Go? Anybody upgrading for an Oculus Go? Okay. How many of you are on an Oculus Link right now, or one of the beta Oculus Links? Anybody there? See some frowns. I'm guessing it's a no. Okay. Cool. Another no. All right. Well, if you do try, so there's nobody here on an Oculus Link cable, because we'd love to hear about that toward the end when we take feedback. Nobody? All right, cool. Well, the Oculus Link cable will actually attach your Quest to a computer. The main Link one is coming out sometime in January, but right now it's in beta. So they have lesser cables that you can try out to have the experience, and it's going to enable you to use your Quest in a way that it lets you have Rift-like experiences. Now, this is pretty cool because when I first got my Quest, I didn't realize that, like, I mean, for me, I thought it was like, I got my Quest and I thought it was awesome. And then they made these announcements at OC6, like there was going to be hand tracking coming out in January, and the link cable was going to be coming out too. This is like finding out you just bought a bicycle and you're really happy with it. You think it's great. You're driving it all around town, and somebody tells you, hey, in a few days that's going to turn into a car. And that's a bit what having the Quest has been like for me. Now, when I came up from an Oculus Go onto the Quest, so I'd been in Altspace for a while before that. And while I was in Altspace, I basically, I was speaking with one hand. And I grew up in Brooklyn, so I'm used to expressing myself with both hands, right? And, move my hands around a lot as I talk. See somebody there's doing it too, guess right there. And, and I felt like I wasn't expressing myself as fully as I could. So when I ordered my Quest, I was really looking forward to getting that second hand, and that's all I focused on. But I didn't realize the power that's available in these hands, right? Because I mean, they handle so much more than your hand. They're also your feet. They handle your movement. And if you're here today, you already have your handle on the basics. For instance, the left thumbstick will move you around like this, and your right thumbstick will turn you in these circles, right? And if you combine these movements, you can do these nice big circles that make my presentation so much more dramatic. Everybody try this right now, because if you do this right, it looks like ballroom dancing as I look out in the audience, and I think that looks really cool. Give me some big, wide circles, everybody. Just keep on going. If you get dizzy, don't do it. But, if you're feeling good. All right. Oh, wow. That looks so cool. That's neat. All right, cool. Very nice. But when I first started out, and when you sort of start out on the Quest, these are a lot of buttons. Now, these are all the controls in Altspace, and it can be kind of overwhelming at first, right? Because, like, really, seriously, those are a lot of buttons, right? Now, and some of the buttons change the behavior of other buttons. So I like to go over these during Quest time so everybody's comfortable with it. If you are already comfortable with the controls, don't worry about it. We're going to do some fun movement exercises where you're actually going to help your fellow Quest users get used to the controls. All right. So now the first button that we're going to talk about is grip buttons. You've got one here on your right controller, and you've got one here on the left controller. And this is going to basically allow you to grab things in the environment. You can do cool things like the way I'm holding this laser pointer. You can also hold, rockets and sparklers. You can interact with the world editor. And when you're holding something in the world editor, it's going to change the behavior of the right thumbstick. No longer is this going to turn you. This is going to affect the object that you're holding. If you move the thumbstick left or right, it's going to change the size of the scale of the object. If you move the thumbstick forward or backwards, it's going to push the object away or pull it closer to you, right? And for the most part, if you can do things with your hands, like you can grab it into your other hand like this and move the object back and forth, right? Whether that's a basketball or a sparkler or something like that. And if you actually twist your hand, you can actually make the object kind of spin like that, which is kind of fun to do, right? It's a cool thing while you're talking to somebody. It's a kind of a neat way to fidget, right? Let's see some of these other buttons here. Now, also, while these are a lot of buttons, some of these buttons do the same thing, right? So let's say you have your left pointer enabled on your main menu, right? This select button and this select button, right here, are going to do the same thing, and so is your right trigger button. So if you're holding down your right trigger button or your select buttons, and you move your hand through the audience, you're going to see everybody's name tag appear above their heads, right? That's how I know that this person is here is Just a Ginger, and this person is Leggable Will, and here we got Henry 557, we've got Eric. Who else we got? We got Scotty Boy 215. We got Alex Green. We got Bright Hammer. And you can look around. Somebody's jumping up and down. They want to be called on. Who we got? We got King Warham. Give me a fist bump. You know how to do a fist yet? If not, I'll show you. Let's see the fist. Boom. Just like that. Very cool. Oh, multiple fist bump. All right, let's do that. Everybody squeeze down all your buttons, kind of. Oh, you got somebody got that space bump on. All right, pull in. Bring it in, everybody. Wow, that's a lot of fist bumps. Boom. Just like that. Very cool. We're going to go over gestures in just a minute. Let me touch on a couple of these other buttons here. All right, so now this left trigger button does something different, right? This is going to cause you to accelerate. So let's say you're walking around and you squeeze on that left trigger, you start to speed up, right? And this is kind of cool, right? Because you combine this in different ways. Like, for example, if you use this teleport button here, right, or your left teleport button, this is going to put a target on the floor, especially if you're in a line dash teleport, which is my favorite.
We seem to be experiencing some technical difficulties. If you'd please just be patient, our host should return shortly. Thank you. Shouldn't be long. In the meantime, enjoy the environment. Thank you. I've gone ahead and unmuted everyone, so feel free to speak amongst yourselves. You are no longer silent.
Thank you. What happened there, though? Oh.
This girl's name is muted.
Yeah, but it lost and hurt, so it did the only thing it could do to protect itself from strangers. It instinctively created the illusion of a big hurt because it was afraid we'd hurt it.
I'm back, everybody. I'm back. Sorry.
A big round of applause.
You know what? This is a good opportunity to talk about when things go wrong, but we didn't finish the movement exercises. I'm going to explain what happened in just a moment. Something happened to me that, we're getting a lot of feedback up here. Hang on a second. Let me just get everybody muted again. All right, cool. There we go. Now, here's what happened. I'm going to talk about what to do when things go wrong. All right, and this just happened to me now. I just got a notice that said Oculus Quest Services is closing. There's a blue button to press OK, but I've been around for a while. I know better. If I pressed OK, I probably would have needed a factory reset because it would have got stuck on loading. I'm going to go into that in just a minute. I see my tools. Shrub, you gave away my tools. Okay, no worries. We'll just make more. No problem. Let's get those things out here. Let's start with this because this is all we need right now. Let's see, not that one. Let's see, these one here. Sorry for the delay, everybody, but this is a live performance. That kind of thing can go on, all right? All right, so now you can combine your movements, right, with, for like example, you have a teleport button. I think that's where we left off. This teleport button here and this teleport button here. What happens is, like, let's say that we all face the stage, right? And now while we're facing the stage, we hold down that accelerator on the left controller and we back up. And as we're backing up, we aim at the floor in front of us, right? And then we can keep going into this like repeated motion here, and it's kind of the Altspace equivalent of a moonwalk, which is kind of fun to do, right? Now, if everybody comes over to this ramp right here, this railing over here like that, and you aim across the room with your right controller, you'll get the target on the floor, and you hold it down while you aim, and you will aim across the room, and then as soon as you let your thumb go, boom, you get thrown across the room, right? And this also is going to, everybody come on over here, right? What's going to happen is you can try doing this on your left controller. Hold down your left controller, and you get the target on the floor right there. And you have, as soon as you lift your left thumb up, boom, you get flung across the room, right? Now, what's cool about this is you can kind of combine both of them at the same time, make an X on the floor and watch what happens. You're going to get, and as soon as you let go, you're going to get this zigzag effect, which is kind of neat. Then you can combine these things. Like I was at the Universe, right? And back then they had it in a really large world. And I walked up to the edge of that world. I was exploring it after the show. And I went down and I looked down. And as soon as I kind of fell off the edge there, I started to fall. And as I'm falling, I saw this cliff, right? And I saw this cliff and I reached out and I teleported right across there. Boom, just like that, you know, just like that, thrown right over there, you know. Got a thumbs down, thumbs down. Okay, well, there you go. That brings me to what he just did, right? Or she. There's hand gestures. We're going to get to that in a moment, you know. Good use of the hand gestures. All right, so what else do we have here? On here, we have also this flat button here, and this is going to open up your main menu. This is cool because if you're having a room scale experience and you walk out past your, past your main menu, and somebody in Altspace says, "Hey, just open your main menu," and you look around going, "I don't know where it is." Right? You have to remember that you have your main menu in your hand at all times just by pressing that flat button on your left controller on the bottom right there. That's going to open your main menu again, and then if you press it again, it's going to close it. All right, so you have those two things working for you. Now, let's see, we got the teleportation done, we got the accelerator done, we got all that done. All right, now, nobody press this button because if you disappear, I'm going to feel it down deep. But if you were to press this Oculus home button, this flat button on your right controller, you got to think of this like an eject button. This is going to take you out of Altspace when things go wrong, or if you need to leave in a hurry, like you hear a voice coming from the next room, the dinner is ready, and you need to get out of Altspace in a hurry. You press that flat button, and then all of a sudden you're going to get, resume or quit, and you can press quit, and it'll close the app completely. All right. Now, this is a great way to head out when something goes wrong, like what just happened to me. All right. What can happen here is, for example, let's say that somebody says you sound like a robot and you re-enter the space and it doesn't fix it. All right. Or somebody, is saying like, you can't, hear your friends or, something like that, or you can't see your friends, or something's going wrong in Altspace where you can't see the slides. You try to re-enter the space. You need to restart the app. You're in a hurry. You press that bottom button, you can get out. That's the quickest way out. Great way to leave Altspace. But sometimes that's not going to work. Like sometimes maybe your screen freezes, and when you turn your head, the whole world moves with you, right? And that can make you feel kind of sick, right? Probably like you're feeling now is this guy circling you. Really, that's kind of rude, Alex. Don't do that. All right. So while you're whipping around like that, maybe feeling a little bit dizzy, the world got frozen, and if you're pressing that bottom button to eject from Altspace, it's maybe not working, right? Because you're frozen. Or you're going to need a way to restart your headset in a hurry. And if you are like hosting an event, moderating an event, maybe you're having like a big conversation with, your friends and you want to get back in a hurry, it can take about 20 some odd seconds to reset your headset. And when you're in a rush, that can seem like a lot longer, right? And if your headset isn't in a charge cycle and this way your charge light is not going on, you may think that your headset is actually broken, like there's something wrong with it. Well, I find it helps to reset your headset while it's still on your head. All right. And the way you do this, if you take your index finger, and I just did this now before when I got that error message, right? Because what can happen, and I'll get to this in a moment, but what you do, all right, to reset it while it's on your head is you take your index finger and you slide it down your headset, like on the side, right? And you'll feel that bump and you'll feel the power button, right? And you push that power button in for about 4 seconds. Don't do it now because you'll disappear. But if, you wait those 4 seconds and your headset will turn off. But don't take your finger off the button. You just leave it there, right? And you just sit there and you wait. And after about 10 seconds, you start to think, why did Oculus make it take so long, right, for your headset to reset? I don't know. Maybe after about 15 seconds or so, you start thinking to yourself, you start thinking about friends you haven't seen in years. You wonder how they're doing. Maybe you think about the dog you used to have when you were little, right? And then all of a sudden, you're going to hear this ding. And when you hear this ding, you're going to lift your finger up off the button. You're going to see the Oculus logo. Your headset's going to restart and you head back into Altspace. It's really the best way to do it. But there are going to be times, right, like what just happened to me, all right? What just happened to me, it hasn't happened in months, right? But a few months ago, Oculus released a firmware update. And after this firmware update, I got a notice that said Oculus Home is closing, right? And it was a blue button that said to press OK. So I pressed on OK, and then the screen just said loading. And this went on for about 5 minutes, right? And, I thought it was weird. So I restarted the headset and it still said loading and it wouldn't stop. So I asked my good friend Google about it, and Google said, listen, everybody's having this problem. What you need to do is a factory reset. And you need to know that this is an option. If you have a factory reset going on, you got to remember that you are going to lose everything. If you have any photographs stored on your device, you're going to lose them. You're going to have to reinstall all of your apps. You're going to have to redo all of the settings on those apps, and you're going to lose any forward progress in any of those apps that may be games. Right? But keep it in mind, if you were saving the world and you would have stopped, for something important like dinner, well, and then maybe you did a factory reset. If you had to do that, then, well, you're gonna lose all that. You're gonna have to start all over again. All right. So keep that in mind, but it's good to know that it's an option. And what I just got was, I don't know if it's happened to anybody else, but, I just got the notice saying that Oculus, has lost core services. If I had pressed that OK button, I maybe would have had to done a factory reset. So what I did was what I just showed you. I pressed and held the button, and I'm like, uh-oh, I got to get back to the event. Right? And I probably wasn't gone that long. I mean, to me, it seemed like forever, but it was probably only a couple of minutes, So you can it's probably the best way to solve things when things go wrong. Now, if you're on the Quest, you're on the tour already, you danced with the robot, and that was fun. You played with the remote controlled blimp, you got you got acquainted with the device that way. So you're already familiar with the Guardian system. But but how you use the Guardian system in Altspace is kind of special, and it's worth a mention. Now, for example, if you get dizziness when you're in VR, one thing that you can do if you start feeling dizzy while you're in Altspace is you can look at your hand, right? And as you look at your hand, the dizziness will pass, and then you slowly pull the hand away and take your environment in. Once things have calmed down, you start to feel a little bit better, right? Now, but another thing that you can do, right? Now, I like to say, when you mess with your Guardian, right, be very careful, because a lot of times I just see somebody in Altspace walking along, and as they're walking along, all of a sudden, boom, they hit a wall, right? You don't want to hurt yourself. You don't want to damage your equipment. But what you can do is stick your hand out and walk slowly. And when you approach the end of your grid, you're going to notice that grid is in the air in front of you. But you can still touch your thumbsticks. So now, as you move your thumbsticks around, you're actually moving that grid and you can around in VR. And you can line that grid up on a VR object like this display, right? Now, once I have it lined up with this display, right, I have an anchor to the real world. So if I jump out into the audience and the audience gets mean and they all turn on me and they all come at me and they all start, they all start touching me and grabbing me and, go ahead, come on in here. Don't be shy. Just mess with me. Go ahead. Make me dizzy. There you go. There we go. That's the stuff right there. Now I'm starting to feel it. I turn around and I look and I see that display. I got something to focus on now. Now you guys can't make me dizzy at all. You can cover my eyes all you want. I can still see through your fingers. There you go. See, I'm good. All right. And it's just because I'm anchored to the real world because of the display. Right? It's pretty awesome. Now, another cool thing about the Guardian system is that you can switch between a room scale and a sitting experience whenever you want. So let's say, you came in this event, you're like, oh, the host disappeared. He's not professional at all. And you know what? I didn't know he was going to be talking all this time. Right? I want to sit down. Well, good news, you can. Just go to the edge of the Guardian, right? Put your hands through it, make sure you're not going to bump your head into anything, and then stick your head through where you got some room, and look where you are in the room, right? This is good to take a sip of coffee or something like that too. But as soon as you step out of your Guardian system, now you'll have the pass-through going on. You'll be able to see the real world, right? And then you go over to your chair and you sit down, and you press that OK button saying that you're going to be having a room, a stationary experience, and you press on that blue button, right? And as soon as you do, you'll be able to see VR again. And it'll turn out that you haven't left Altspace at all. And this works in the other direction. I was moderating an event. It was almost over. And, I wanted to get up and walk around, which is a big deal for me. So I was going to do it. So I got up and I walked out. And normally you can walk right into your boundary. But sometimes the Quest is going to lose your Guardian. It's going to ask you to redraw it. And I'm like, oh no, I left Altspace and I'm drawing my boundary out again. I got to get back in. I hope I can get back in the event. I got to explain to the host what happened. Why is my play space so big anyway? I don't know. Maybe I should use a small room or something. I don't know. And I'm walking around and I'm redrawing this thing. And as I am, getting all things so close to the wall there. And as soon as I'm done, the grid pops right up. And you know what? I was still in Altspace, right? It's amazing. So you can go back and forth as you like, do what's comfortable for you. And it's a good idea to remember that. Now, all anybody in Altspace is going to see is your avatar is going to be like this, all frozen, just like that, right? And think of it as having an out-of-avatar experience. Just like when you're in VR, it's kind of like you're out of your body. Well, this is kind of that in the other direction, right? Where you're taking a foray out to the real world. All right, now one thing you can do that is cool, this is not useful at all, but it's just fun to do, is if you go to the edge of your Guardian, make sure you have enough room for your head and you stick your head through it, how you can see that real world going to pass through? If you do this solely enough, you're going to see both realities at once, and you just reminded me something, guest. Thank you. This is awesome. I forgot to tell everybody, right? You see how everybody's lifting up here, right? On the Quest, you need to worry about vertical motion. Show us what happens when you push down your left thumbstick. I forgot to show that. Push down your left thumbstick and show what happens. Boom, gets recentered. So anytime you're feeling too short, too tall, just press down on that left thumbstick and it'll recenter you. All right, now let's see where it was. Oh yeah, so you look through your Guardian system, right? And you're seeing that pastor, you're seeing that real world. Well, if you do this slowly enough, you're going to see both realities at the same time. And when you see both realities at the same time, you're going to see avatars in your real world environment. And this is really cool because you don't really get a sense of how tall avatars are until you see them in your house, right? And I'll tell you that avatars, male, female, and robots alike, are about 6 feet tall, I'd say, compared to what I saw in my space. All right, so try this. It's a lot of fun to do. And the great thing about the Quest is it just works. Now, that doesn't mean it can't work better. There are some accessories you can try to improve your experience. There are the Oculus Earbuds that kind of dangle from the side, right? Which is kind of cool, because they look kind of fancy, like, earrings for your headset. I don't know what I look like when I'm in VR, but I like to think I look fancy, right? And what happens is when you put these on, right? Now, mine were on back order. It took about a month for them to arrive. And when they did, I want to try them out. So I put them on, and by this time I was so used to having a good experience with the audio, right? Like there's no feedback, the audio is nice and crisp. But I put on the earbuds to see what it was like. And I went to the campfire to try it out. And did you know there's a breeze in a campfire? Nobody told me this. Nobody told me this at all, right? And well, so I walked over to that railing by the water. I heard the water rushing. Now, it turns out that there's a lot of ambient sounds in Altspace that can make it way more immersive, which is really great. You also have these VR cover headset, inserts that you can get. If like you have light bleeding into the sides, you can put these on to stop that. For me, let's see how I'm doing time here. Okay, let's skip this part. But what happens is you have, because it turns out I forgot to do the body language stuff earlier, and I want to go over that, everybody. If you press the right right grip button, you'll point up. Everybody do that right now. So you're pointing like that. Maybe threaten me saying you don't disappear off the stage, host. It's not professional. All right. You do it like that. Right. Or you can do it on both hands. Hold down both grip buttons and everybody give me a Brooklyn hello. Let me see that. Do that. Do that right there. Oh, I see somebody doing that frame thing, like a picture, right? Just like that. All right. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take that advice. I am going to take a picture of this. Everybody hold up the Altspace logo like this by holding both grip buttons. Hold it nice and high, right? And hold it just like that because I'm going to take a selfie of this. It's going to go on Twitter later. Let's grab this camera right there. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Let's see how that come out. Oh, awesome. All right, good. Got a lot of logos. Cool. All right. Now, what else you can do is if you are new to Altspace and you're learning the gestures, there's going to come a time where you can still feel the plastic of the controls in your hand, but these are going to become like your real world hands. You won't think about it. Like if I say, hey, look at that glass wall over there, right? I don't even think about pointing. I just do it. And the best way to learn this is to mirror your friends. Like say your friend does something cool with their hands, like you're going like this, like it's a bird, right? Just like that. Everybody try that. Put it up nice and high, right? Yeah, there you go. Very cool. That's nice. That's nice. So basically, that's what you do. You mirror the gestures of your friends, right? So if you hold down the grip and the pointer, you got that thumbs up. That avatar before that was giving me the thumbs down, right? Maybe I should have gone like this back to him because I was confused. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's bad. I'm kind of confused about it, right? Oh, no, I like what this guy's doing. Look at this. That's nice. You know, kind of like lifting weights right there too. Look, check that out. If you touch your thumbs to the buttons or to the thumbsticks without pushing down, your fingers go down like this. You can do this like cool dance. Can you do that? Kind of go back and forth like that? Yeah, very nice, very nice. Just go like that. Very cool. You know, and let's see, try that. Yeah, that's neat. So that's what you do. You mirror your friends. Like he was doing something I hadn't done before, and I liked it. So now I mirrored it, and it's mine forever. Right? I can do this anytime I want now. It's awesome. You know, very cool. And that's the hand gesture stuff that I forgot. I want to make sure everybody, you know, has a handle on that. Let's see. So a handle. Get it? Handle. All right. Oh, that's not nice. I see one gesture right there that I'm particularly careful for. But you did see the part where I said I grew up in Brooklyn, right? Means nothing, man. That's like saying hello to me. You go ahead and keep doing that. All right. You also have the prescription insert lenses that you can put on your headset that'll protect your headset. Another cool thing you can get is this VR case, to protect your gear. It's very important to take care of your gear. Like if you left your headset out in the sunlight, you know, by a window or something, and the sunlight will damage your headset, right? If you lose it and you're spending a lot of time in Altspace, if you've made some friendships and you've built relationships in here, it's not like losing a toaster where it's like some appliance, right? This is going to represent losing your friends, and you're going to register as a deep sense of loss. Right. So if you want to try out any of these products, they're really easy to find. We put up some links for you guys. So if you go to altvr.com and you go to where it says events, right next to that is the word channels. If you press on the channels button, you will be taken to all the event channels in Altspace. At the very end of the list, toward the bottom on page 2, you'll see Ravenhall events, like it says up on the balcony up there. I'm thinking his name is Santa's Claus, but no, it's Festive Mark. Hey, Festive Mark, how's it going? But yeah, looks like Santa. Cool avatar. Very seasonal. I like that. But up there by Ravenhall events, like if you just click on that, you'll be taken to our event channel, right? And when you get taken to our event channel, you'll see, you can join our Discord to help out with events like this, or you'll see all those products listed on the left-hand side of the page. If you want to try them out, you'll find the links there. And also you can press on that subscribe button. We don't get paid to do this at all. And this lets Altspace know that, you like what we're doing. It lets us know that you're enjoying our content, and we know to put on more events like this. So please subscribe to our channel. Every time that number goes up, it makes me feel amazing. All right. So if you'd please do that, it's a great way to say thank you. All right. Also, if you're on Twitter, you can follow us at __ Uncanny Valley. And those that looks like one underscore, but it's actually 2. All right, cool. And we are going to be taking your questions now, or your comments, or your feedback, or anything like that. If you tried a device, or an accessory, and you want to talk about it, we want to hear about it. If you had a problem that you learned how to solve that I haven't mentioned, you're going to see your raise hand button appear as if by magic in your lower right. When you press it, I'm going to see your name get on the list. And let's see, we've got Alex Green. Alex Green, you're on the air. This is where I get to feel like a radio host. Alex Green, you have a question. What is your question? Where are you, Alex?
Oh,
Let's see.
I'm right here.
There you are. How's it going, Alex? What's your question?
This is my first Altspace experience. I just wanted to say thank you.
Oh, wow. This is your first event ever?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Well, Altspace events are a lot of fun. You should definitely check out an Altspace VR 101. It'll get you comfortable with things. But I gotta say, good choice. Thank you. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Very cool. How did you come in? Did you come in through the Oculus store, or did you just tried Altspace and you're like, I'm gonna go check out an event?
Yeah, I mean, I just downloaded it about an hour ago.
Wow,
So-
you look really comfortable with your hands. You took to this right away. Is your Quest new?
I got it like 3 days ago.
3 days ago, and he's already got body language. Everybody, throw up some applause emoji for Alex Green, because that's impressive. Because it's true. It can take a while to get used to it. Oh, very nice, very nice. That's cool. All right, let's see who else we got. Let's see my host tools. I gotta don't make this too great. Here we got Cello. Let's see, Cello. You have a question or a comment or anything like that? Cello, where are you? Cello. Press on the button. Did you mute yourself again? All right, let's see. Let's open up that panel again. All right, Cello. Yeah, it still says awaiting consent. You got to say that it's okay. You got to say that it's okay to get on megaphone. Maybe you didn't mean to press it. That can happen. That can totally happen. That's totally fine. All right, let's see here. How about Dylan? Dylan, you have a question or a comment? Dylan, where are you, Dylan? Let's see. Dylan, all right, your microphone's open. Can anyone else hear Dylan? I'm not hearing him.
How you guys doing?
Hey, Dylan, what's up? What's going on?
How you doing? I just got my Oculus Go about half an hour ago.
You know what you should check out? I do another
What's that check
event, and the name of the event's going to shock you. You know how this is Quest Time? I do an event called Go Time because I started on an Oculus Go. I still love the device deeply, but we're doing on Monday, we're doing a Go Time. You should check that out, right? Because we give a lot of useful tips on that'll help with the Go experience in Altspace. Help out with overheating and battery management, all that cool stuff. You should check that out. But did you have a
All right,
question?
thank you.
Or that was it?
Is there any way that I can get 2 controllers on the go, or is it just one?
Technically, it's been done, but you kind of break the warranty thing. There are videos on YouTube about it. I wouldn't encourage doing it because the second you have an update, things will probably, not go well. But yeah, it's an advanced hacking procedure that I can't, recommend anybody try. But it's theoretically possible, and I really think that they should actually, give Go users their second hand. They deserve it. They worked for that. All right. So, let's see. Now, there is one other thing I want to show everybody, if I can. Let's see. We have this is called a flight tool. You saw me make this earlier, right? And what this does is if you draw lines with this by squeezing down your trigger button, if you draw small lines, you'll move slowly in a direction of the line. If you draw long lines, it will move you around very quickly. What's great if you're sitting down too, this doesn't really make you dizzy, which is kind of awesome. It will make you feel a little bit wobbly if you are standing up. And during the end of our events, I usually take everybody flying out to the Ravenhall Flight Academy. If you'd like to come with us, if you'd like to learn how to fly and you don't know how, feel free to join us there. But I would also like to ask you first, if you've learned anything here today, please share it with everybody you come in contact with. So let's say that you're in the campfire and there's an avatar that that down on the ground like that, and you woke up and you say, "What's wrong, little buddy?" And they look up and they say, "I just got my Quest and I'm stuck in the ground." Tell them to push down the left up stick. They'll pop up and they'll feel better, and you'll feel better for having helped someone. Right? Altspace has been around about 5 years, and one of the reasons it's been around for so long is the community is very helpful to one another. So if you know something, if you learned something there today, share that information. It's very important. All right, cool. Now we're gonna head on out there to teach you how to fly or teach you the flight pen if you'd like to learn. And the way we're gonna do this is we're gonna walk up that ramp into that blue load screen light, right? But we're gonna do it to music. So show me your moves as we go. All right, let's go. Quest time. Let's go. Head on out. Get on up that ramp. Go back and forth. Come on, make it look good. You gotta feel it. All right, awesome. Thank you for joining us, everybody, and I'll catch you next time. Feel free to hang out and enjoy the space as long as you like.